Welcome to Trading Nation, folks. Today we're talking about the KBE Bank ETF. It's up 11% in the past 4 weeks. Today we're joined by Eddy Elfenbein. He's with AdvisorShares. Did you change your company? Wait a minute, can we just start over? What happened to the Crossing Wall Street blog?
Well, now I'm both, but I'd like to say the AdvisorShares.
Oh, that's why I was all thrown off. All right, can we just start over real fast because I got tripped up. I'm blaming Alex for not telling me in advance. The KBE Bank ETF, it's up 11% in the past 4 weeks. Welcome to Trading Nation. Today we've got Eddy Elfenbein. He's with AdvisorShares, and Craig Johnson is with Piper Jaffray. Eddy, I want to start with you. What are your thoughts here?
You know, it's been a really impressive month for the bank stocks, and it's no secret why. It's the Federal Reserve. They've looks like they've changed their outlook, and they're going to raise interest rates. But this has really helped the regional banks more than the big banks. There are a lot of good names out there. One I like in particular, and that I own in my fund, is Signature Bank. It's SBNY, a New York-based bank. I think these look good for the next 6 to 12 months.
Craig, let's talk about some of the charts you've looked at.
Sure. So when you look at the KBE, interesting chart. We've been consolidating for a while. We're finally breaking out. But here's the more interesting part for me is post the election, all these financial stocks took and they very nicely advanced. Then they've been consolidating from now until the last few weeks. They've been consolidating almost this entire year. It's been a disappointing trade for a lot of investors. Now that they're starting to work again, it's a positive sign that perhaps inflation expectations are finally rising and we're finally going to get that net interest margin to improve. While the KBE is interesting, Eddy is right. KRE, which is a smaller cap banks, looks even more attractive at this point in time and has actually been outperforming on a relative basis. And that's what you can see on the chart that I provided us here today. So while financials are interesting and working, I'd rather buy the mid-small cap banks than the larger cap banks at this point in time.
All right, so these smaller and mid-cap banks. I want to turn to you, Eddy, real quick. Is this trade really just a Fed trade, or is there something else going on that's not Fed?
I think it also does reflect some underlying strength in the economy. You know, we've just been this sort of steady 2% growth for so many years. I think there's a good chance we can see that bump up into 2018, into 2019. It's mostly a Fed story, but also just an improving economy, employment situation. That's good for the banks as well.
All right, and then Craig, let's just turn to you real fast because I don't think we got that chart up long enough for people to really dig into it. So if we could just pull it up and you could just kind of walk us through one more time exactly what's happening there with the trade, how you're looking at it.
So when you look at that KBE chart, you finally just reversed the downtrend on the stock or this index, I should say, that we've been in almost this entire year, finally reversing the downtrend and starting to turn higher. So again, nice downtrend reversal here on that particular stock. I would add one other thing here as to why these bank stocks are working. If there is going to finally be some tax reform that gets done here in the States, this would really benefit the small mid-cap banks, and that's a big weight in some of the smaller indexes like the KRE too. So lots of a net positive impact from tax reform for these banks.
If it happens, that's a big if. We're going to have to see.
If it happens.
That's a whole other conversation. We can't start getting into tax reform here after we're talking about the bank stocks. So, all right, my thanks to Craig and Eddy for joining me here on Trading Nation. I'm Eric Chemi. We'll see you next time.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.